It's been one of the most amazing years of my life. A global search for a complete sense of well-being. I'm Rachel Hunter. I've collected some of the most remarkable beauty and health secrets from my worldwide tour of beauty. I met some wonderful people.
Loving and makes people become beautiful.
Who taught me how to achieve superior health and a long, happy life. Now that I'm home, it's time to share even more discoveries from my global travels. This time from my collection, old ways to stay young and healthy.
It's so red!
Teas. We've been drinking them for thousands of years, but how about mint, green, medicinal, or lemon myrtle tea? Which one is the best for the stresses and strains of modern life? Fermented food. It got my family foaming at the mouth. What you eat, or actually, I knew you would hate that. But which recipe converted me for life? And from forest to pharmacy, plucking ancient health and beauty treatments from the wild.
This tree here is like an antibiotic.
Incredible. I love a great cuppa to rejuvenate my mood and revitalize my mind. But where in the world did I find the best one? Rose tea, lemon tea, mint and green tea, camel tea. Oh no, I needed my glasses. It's caramel tea. In Morocco, mint is their tea of choice, and the ceremony of serving it is a grand affair. You are the champion of tea pourers. It's also given as a sign of friendship when you first come to Morocco. And I was impressed by its health-enhancing credentials. It has antioxidants, apparently helps with irritable bowel syndrome, colds and flu, bad breath. Cheers. So how do they make it with that distinct Moroccan taste? I'm gonna get ready to pour. At a resort, I met a man who's made pouring tea his specialty, and I discovered his secret. Orange blossoms. Oh my God, it's heaven. And about a week's worth of sugar. These would be horse cubes. Isn't that cheating? It's called Moroccan bear too, because it gets kind of like a froth right on top because of the way you actually pour it. Okay, let's make some froth. More sugar. My teeth are gonna fall out. This is not easy. It's just not easy. I've actually broken out in a sweat trying to get this right. It's a little bit of a challenge. I did it! Cheers! The social buzz of minty tea might be on tap 24/7 in Morocco. But in China, tea drinking is more about refreshing the soul by bringing balance and calm. Oh my goodness, look at this. There I met Janur, who's so passionate about green tea, she created a unique environment to maximize the calming tea experience.
For me, the most beautiful part is the spirituality of using tea to balance our body and soul.
Yeah.
So when we're putting our thoughts and action into a very specific actions, actually the thoughts, the emotions are gone because we are focusing on this. The cleanliness and the orderliness and the discipline. When we're having tea with a friend, we can share our thoughts and emotion in a very calm way.
If anything dramatic happens or anything needs to be discussed, it's always like, let's have a cup of tea and we'll sort it out.
For the physical part of it, I really do not think tea is good for everyone.
Really?
It is really good for certain occasion, for a certain people, but it also need to be moderate.
So different teas are right for different people on different occasions.
Please name is Tan.
Which is why when I visited a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, a specialized tea was on the cards after he diagnosed me.
If you drink too much drinks like they call ice cream or the
Iced coffee.
Iced coffee. The cold can destroy the stomach and the spleen. If the abdomen is becoming like arctic.
Dr. Young told me my Arctic stomach was blocking my energy flow, or qi.
I think you should pay attention to your liver blood and the kidney yin.
To get my yin and yang back in balance, a mixture of Chinese herbs to boil as a tea was prescribed.
This one for reinforce the kidney yin.
It's like beef jerky.
Yeah.
And then this guy.
For the kidney yin deficiency.
And this one?
This one is just the ginseng.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you sure I need that?
A little bit, no problem.
Because ginseng's like, could be like caffeine, like make me crazy.
Yeah. You should follow your doctor's advice.
Okay, I'll do that for a week.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to try?
Yeah, that was amazing. I love all that. And you know what? Those teas warmed me up and balanced me out for the rest of my trip. But China wasn't the only place I discovered medicinal teas I'd never heard of before. What is this that I can smell?
This is a native rainforest plant from Australia. It's one of the strongest lemon scent in the world.
In Australia, I was surprised to learn it's the hardiness of their native plants that gives some of them their medicinal qualities.
It's called lemon myrtle.
And Greg Treverna introduced me to one of them.
And this is the leaf here. You tear it. That's when you really get a great, uplifting, refreshing lemon smell. It's very unique.
It's very much like that lemongrass, except way more potent. The aroma around here is just
fantastic.
Incredible.
Yeah. So one, you've got the really nice aroma. Two, you've got antibacterial qualities. So it's good at antifungal, for skin conditions, as cleaning the house, things like that as well.
Did he just say cleaning the house? Soaps and skincare, I get, but cleaning the house too? Now that's versatile.
The leaf is so safe, you can actually put it into tea and drink the tea, and that's got really fantastic antioxidant sort of properties. It's antidepressive.
So as a tea, this stuff has serious feel-good factor, and its calcium content is not to be sniffed at either.
It's good for your general health as well. There's a lot of nutrients in there that are actually very high, a lot higher than some of the traditional other teas as well. So it's a great health drink as well.
I want one in my back garden. I just want to rub myself on it, to be honest. I've been tree hugging at the most. And who can blame me? It's not every day you discover lemon-scented brilliance. My love for tea was growing by the minute, and in Australia, I even got the chance to swim in it. So apparently close by is a lake, and there's tea tree in this lake, so it's incredible for the mind, body, and soul. This is definitely my kind of thing. Now, these leaves actually fall into the lake and release the most incredible oils, as well as this amazing color, which kind of looks like black tea and whiskey. It's actually very, very warm, and you can really, really smell that strong tea tree eucalyptus kind of smell.
It's so red!
You can feel how soft it makes your skin. The water's very, very soft as well. These leaves are the broadleaf tea tree. The Indigenous people of Australia treated wounds, cuts, bruises, and had many medicinal purposes for this particular leaf. So I feel very, very fortunate to be able to bathe in this wonder of Australia. Now I know why there's a tea revolution around the world. It sure is a super drink. So what's my favorite? Cheers. I couldn't go past the minty goodness of Moroccan tea. And back home in LA, I'm keen to recreate it, only in a way that won't rot my teeth. The difference between my tea and the Moroccan-made mint tea would be I have less sugar, because obviously we saw giant cubes of sugar that's fresh from my back garden. And so I just go out, pick some mint, throw it in some hot water, add some honey, and away you go, it's done. Delicious mint tea. Easy. Right from the back garden. And full of health-giving properties. And my version? Not as good as Morocco. Up next, do you know what the most important thing I learned from today? I discovered the rewards of a pesticide-free life.
He goes to all fiestas to party.
But can I learn to stomach fermented foods?
That's right.
Okay. You could say the war to win the hearts, minds, and stomachs of people worldwide is being fought in the fields. Everywhere you look, there's something to eat that's good for you. I spend hours in those fields with people growing food naturally.
We are doing it organically, without any pesticides, without chemicals.
That's why it is special.
No wonder a plant-based diet has developed such a great reputation.
Straight from the garden, straight to the mouth. How incredible is that?
People eating from their own backyards were living some of the healthiest, most balanced, longest lives.
India's gold.
Like in the Greek island of Ikaria, where the results spoke for themselves.
He goes to all fiestas to party.
Does. That's amazing.
At 103, Gregory's energy and age aren't actually that unusual here.
He can read a newspaper without glasses.
I can't even do that now, at my age. What's his opinion of people dying younger in other parts of the world?
He thinks that other people die young because they eat a lot of pesticides and other things.
I guess that helps explain why locals here are 2.5 times more likely to reach the age of 90.
This is unbelievable.
They live, eat, and work like their ancestors did, free from the stresses of modern life and rich in the things that matter to well-being.
But I'm having a tummy ache after this.
I reckon Australian food scientist Vic Chirikoff would fit right into Ikaria because he's totally pro-ancestral food for what it doesn't contain.
The ancestral foods from which these things came were small and often sour, but we're breeding them out of our food.
Why are people breeding
they
them sweeter?
sell.
Like it's
Because they sell.
ridiculous.
It's because that's what we like. We have an addictive taste drive to sugary foods.
Vic completely challenged the way I think about the fruit on offer today, and he showed me what healthy ancestral foods should taste like.
It's called a Davidson plum.
It's pretty sour.
It is a little sour, sorry.
I love sour, but that's really, really sour.
It would have to be one of the most super sour fruits.
And that's meant to be, like, good for you.
It is extremely good for you. Here's another wild food.
Once you start looking, the variety of ancestral foods available is also pretty astounding.
What the Aborigines were eating, you're looking at maybe 700 different foods from this type of environment, also from the monsoon and the coast. Wow. On an annual basis, whereas, we're probably eating, maybe 40 or 50?
Wow. Do you eat a lot of these every single day, like the wild native fruits?
Absolutely. Well, I have a productive garden at home.
I couldn't even tell you where I live what the seasonal fruits and vegetables and native plants, what they have to offer and what time of year.
No, that's exactly right.
Do you know what the most important thing I learned from today? If you have a patch of grass in your back garden, plant some food, plant some vegetables.
Everything I learned pointed to a naturally grown, unprocessed, farm-to-table philosophy as the way to go. But I needed gangster gardener Ron Finley to make that happen for me at my LA home.
These are jalapenos,
And they've got some on them.
Yes, they do.
They're very good.
These are red peppers.
They get quite big, don't they?
Yeah.
Lemon balm.
Yes.
What is this one?
They make teas, and it's supposed to be really calming.
It smells good.
It might not be the lemon myrtle I discovered in Australia, but it's a great lemon tea option for my own backyard.
This is Hyperloca.
Grab it.
Right here.
Yeah. So it's really inspired me, going on these travels and really the importance of being able to go into your back garden or go into your balcony and even just, get whatever you can from it. After Greece, I wanted a goat.
Oh my God, so you can have fresh goat milk.
Yeah.
Is that the best?
Yeah. Their boobies were kind of weird to squeeze the first time, but they've got it.
So goats are out and herbs and veggies are in. And now, when I can, dinner comes straight from the garden without chemicals, pesticides, or hidden sugars. Fermentation is big these days too.
So you believe that this soup helped cure your cancer?
Yeah.
In South Korea, Dr. Hong's signature dish has done wonders for him.
Fermented soybean.
The fermented soya beans with the good bacteria.
Good bacteria.
That's inside the soup that makes it very, very good.
This just anti.
Inflammatory.
Inflammatory.
Yeah, wow.
Fermented food does have all sorts of enzymes, vitamins, and acids, but the smell of this soup didn't quite win me over. But when I met Japanese beauty witch Yuko Tanaka, she tried to convince me sumo is good exercise.
small.
But fermented food for breakfast? I wasn't too sure about this.
So this would be your breakfast?
Yes, very simple. Tofu yogurt, fermented, and the shoyu fermented, and bonite fish fermented, and ginger.
There's a lot of fermented dishes on there.
Yes, for my digesting, tofu is very good, especially for women.
So on here I've got bonita fish flakes, which are fermented. The tofu's fermented, soy sauce, sesame seeds, some spring onions, some little peppers that actually kind of taste a little bit like Marmite or Vegemite if we're from New Zealand or Australia.
Try it.
Okay.
Very good.
Wow. This is really good.
Very good. Very good.
I've really had a hard time finding something that's actually been quite easy for me to digest in the morning. And with all these flavors, it's something that I will definitely take home.
And so I did. But while I wasn't quite brave enough to serve it as a breakfast in LA, my son Liam, daughter Renee, mum Janine, and sister Jackie did get a surprise at my homecoming lunch.
Over all your travels, what was your favorite type of food?
I would say my new one is the tofu because I'm not a big tofu. Very rarely do we see tofu in the house unless you bring it in. What's your favorite, Jaja?
I like the tofu. The tofu's amazing. It just melts in your mouth.
But Jackie found out all fermented food is not created equal.
And what you eat, or actually, I knew she would hate that.
It's awful.
No, it's fermented. But this is what we lack in our diet.
It's fermented or not.
Ugh. Kimchi did not hit the spot with my sister. Coming up, bizarre foods that are surprisingly good.
It's red, it's got to be good for my circulation and blood, so why not try it?
And I stock up on ancient remedies from the rainforest.
This one here is a bush shampoo.
It's pretty incredible.
God, look, it's woolly whiskers. What's going on here?
This is mice.
Mice!
My travels around the world introduced me to some outrageous remedies from ancient times.
These ones are the cocoons of beetles.
Very peppery and
Really sweet. It's red, it's got to be good for my circulation and blood, so why not try it?
But my reasons for being open to these kind of alternative treatments go way back.
At 13 years old, I was diagnosed with a blood disorder called toxoplasmosis. And after an exhausting amount of tests, my mother suggested, why don't we go and try some alternative medicine? Now, I had been told that I wouldn't get much better for probably a couple of years. I actually was much better in 9 months. To have that opportunity to explore that was very, very vital for my well-being and my health.
And boy, did that attitude come in handy on my travels. Like in India, where I got to experience Ayurveda, one of the oldest forms of medicine that's now becoming a popular alternative in the West.
So this treatment will be done in a periodic way in 7 different positions.
The highly individual treatments may look unusual.
Something hurry on my back right now.
But their inventive use of medicated oil is because they believe it not only soothes pain, but also penetrates nourishment and love deep into the body.
Luckily, there are no mirrors in here. I feel incredible. I guess to experience something like this that is so ancient. There's a whole philosophy to this, and it's quite extraordinary. Even though I've only been here for the afternoon, to still experience a very minute part of Ayurvedic medicine, I would say I would definitely be back here.
So when I stepped even further back in time to one of the oldest cultures on Earth in Australia, I was excited to explore the natural medicines of the Aborigine people.
So I'm off to the Daintree Forest, which is one of the longest continuous living rainforests in the world. It's 135 million years old.
I'm meeting Mook's here. His name means uncle. For 50,000 years, Mook's ancestors have passed down the Daintree secrets from generation to generation.
These are sharp little things.
Yeah. If you go bushwalking, got poked by one of these spikes, if you leave it for too long, it will paralyze you. Those spikes is poison.
That's pretty scary.
There might be poisonous trees here, but Mook's believes there's also powerful bush medicine.
So how many remedies are found in the Daintree rainforest?
Well, just a rough guess, I reckon it'd be about 1,500, maybe more.
Right from simply stomachache to what is the most extreme thing known to have been healed from inside this forest.
Heart disease, things like that, yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
This little tree here, when the leaf is nice and green like this one here, if you had bad heat rash, you just rub it on.
That's amazing.
This tree here, and it's like an antibiotic. See the sap start to drip out there now?
All that white just appeared, so that is for fever.
Fever. As the sap comes out, they will get that with their finger, put that on their tongue, drink it down with a bit of water. But only when they were really desperate. Like if they had too much, they could get really sick. They could die from it too. That's their wild native yam. It's good when people on dialysis.
Really?
It cleans the kidney out. Wow. Then you can sit down and eat it just like that.
That's amazing. Dialysis.
The forest is literally Mook's pharmacy. It even stocks hair products.
This one here is a bush shampoo. This plant normally grows along the edge of the rainforest.
Wow, they actually lather up.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. So how clean is the water here?
Second purest water in the world. Canada is first. I thought it was New Zealand, but Canada.
We'll go with New Zealand. This water looks really, really inviting, so I think I would be insane not to go swimming in it. Incredibly refreshing to be able to jump into this, and oh my God, it's the most stunning environment.
Diving in such pristine water was the best end to my personal discovery of the ancient remedies still available all around the world today.
Sometimes the things that have survived the test of time are actually the best.
It's Moroccan mint tea that gets my vote as the best tonic for the stresses and strains of modern life.
Fermented food, you might find it an acquired taste, and the preparation can take time.
But dishes like that Japanese silken tofu are so delicious, they're now part of my weekly diet. My daughter loves it too, but my son, he's gonna need some convincing.
Just smell it. Then try the tofu.
I'm still learning lots about traditional Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine. And although accessing the rainforest is a little tricky when you live in the suburbs, finding there are alternatives out there for people who seek them is not only fascinating, but
thankfully there are people who still know those secrets.
So we live the life that our grandfathers were living. It's a whole lifestyle.
But I must admit, I did struggle with the texture of some traditional foods I tried.
What would I start with?
Eggplant, eggplant.
Balls.
It's slimy.
What's slimy, is it? Up till now, I thought tofu was going to be my favorite food, but let's see how... It's so good, but it's so gross when it goes down your throat.